Hours, and Andrew is in the ocean. That's right, it's a pre-recorded episode all about type, but it's still going to be pretty fun. Stick around for Adobe Office Hours. That was a lot of vamping, but I think it worked, right?
I think it did. It's got your usual tone of like you're looking for the right word and you catch it right when you need to.
It's got your usual tone of you're confused, you don't know what you're doing, and then the show starts. That's yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to Adobe Office Hours. Okay. Hi, everybody. Unfortunately, this is our last show. At this time. Nick. Gotcha. Nick, what is happening with Adobe Office Hours? As we get started, this is a very important announcement. If you don't want to listen to us talk, we do have announcements for like 3 minutes. So if you want to fast forward, you can do that. But Nick, what is happening with Adobe Office Hours?
We are moving to a new date and a new time, and we will be every Monday starting this July 15th. And we are at 9 a.m.
Yes, correct? 9 a.m. bright and early. I know that we have a lot of international friends, so hopefully that time works a little bit better for you. I know that we have people that will watch at like 1 and 2 in the morning. We're moving Mondays at 9 a.m. For those of you that are here in the U.S. with us, start your week with us. It's going to be a little morning show vibe. Okay. We might get some new graphics. We might reevaluate some things. It's going to be a really fun show. Another new version of Adobe Office Hours is coming. Nick, should we name it something? Should we do another little tag? We haven't done a little sub tag in a while.
Well, this would be a good chance for everybody to chime in with maybe some name options. We were thinking Office Hours AM, or what else? The morning office hours.
I like that. Yeah. So chat, let us know if you have suggestions for names or for a theme. You know that we love to do seasons, and it's been a while since we've done a season. So let us know if you'd like to do like something in the summer, if you'd like to do a back to school kind of thing, or if you want to kind of do the morning vibes with us. So let us know in the chat. And with that, we do have some new things coming that will be on the way in the new version of the show. One of those is we will be starting a point system. Y'all have loved it when we've done points in the past, and so I wanted to make sure that we could incorporate that in the future. So the new show will have some sort of point system, and the best way to get in the know about what's coming is down here. Discord.gg/ACC. That is our Discord. And Nick, our Discord's been very, very busy. Check this out. So we are doing a kind of, I don't know if it's a contest, but it's more like a collaboration for us to all create something together. And we are using this logo and then using structure reference in Adobe Firefly to generate some structure references. And Nick, let's see what some of the people have done here in the last few weeks.
I mean, yeah, that's combining everything. Office Hours, dumpster fire. Here's a bunch.
There's a whole bunch here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wait, this is perfect for like a morning show.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wait, what?
Wait. Stop everything. Who did this one?
Wait, what?
What was the prompt? Did they throw that in there?
I'm guessing that there is a style reference of like a public domain image. Yeah. And that is exactly what we are going to be doing on this show. At some point in the show, I want to try that because I have a lot of public domain imagery, and you can use public domain images in Adobe Firefly. And so especially stuff like this that is public domain, this is probably just timed out. I'm interested to try that. I think that's going to be fun.
Oh, cool.
Some great little emoji here.
Emoji ones. Oh my gosh, look at the clock.
Yes. Ooh, we got one here. I love this one. And what's really cool is when you generate these, you can click on that share option and then give us the link so that we can remix it ourselves. So I can click here. It is going to open it up so that I can see what's happening with your work and what settings you used. So we have the style reference right here. You've used the structure reference. And then we have, a reference of like this like glass prism.
Yeah, I love that.
And so let's say that I maybe wanted to have this be a little more realistic. I'm just going to click on hyper realistic, and then I can remix your creation to create my own. And that way that like I can have my own thing. And with that, Nick, can you talk real quick about Firefly? Actually, can you talk about what we're doing on the show today while I sign into Firefly so I can show them how to do this?
Sign on in. Let's do it. So today we wanted to do a whole episode on the type tools and everything you could possibly do in Illustrator. We're going to look at Adobe Fonts. We're going to really kind of run down as much as we can as far as those fun things, because they always pop up in our episodes of like, oh, we should do a whole type thing, right?
Yes.
That tends to be the thing that we want to do. So that's what we're hoping to do here. How's the transmission there?
Good. We got it.
Good.
All right. We got it. Ooh. Okay. So I did hyper realistic and it gave me some options that were a little more hyper realistic. I like
Look
these.
at
And I would
that.
actually just replace these. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish,
10.
10, 11, 12. It did pretty good at the clock.
It doesn't like nines so much.
Oh, it doesn't like numbers. It doesn't like numbers or letters, but did pretty good here. So let's go ahead and hop in. I just want to show you that you can remix that if you want to. And again, go put your references in Discord. We'll show you how to do that at the end of the episode. Again, how to download this reference and then bring it back. Nick, if I forget, please remind me at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So let's hop in. And Nick, you got some top tips for type tools.
Top tips for type tools. This
Yes.
is a T4 episode.
With Tictongo and Pandrew Talk Rattle. Welcome to Toby Tofist Towers.
Toby.
Gosh.
Can you guys tell this is a day off for us? Because
This is it. Also, yes. Hi. If you're watching this live,
Yeah.
this is pre-recorded. We're recording this on Tuesday, July 2nd. So it is very pre-recorded, but there's a lot of cool type stuff here. You can still interact with the chat. I will still be in chat, hang out with you. Say hi, Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
There he is. There he is.
There we go. There he is. Oh, look at that comment. Wait, it would be that side. Look at that comment by Andrew. Wow, what a great comment. Thanks, Andrew. Okay, so let's hop in here, Nick, and let's jump over to your screen to get us started. Let's talk type. Where are we starting here? What are we starting in? What program are we in? What do we want to do?
I'm an illustrator, and this is really primarily where I think I do not only the bulk of my work, but when it comes to type, even if I'm doing it and taking it into another application, very similar to what like Firefly can do now with your source code or your source file. I love starting here to create like the raw, really cool ideas for type and text. And I think I have to admit, I would say in this type tool over here, let's get this going here. Wait, we got this here. I actually made a really cool little blow up of this because I wanted to show this off. Even here before using office hours, I think I was probably using 3 out of these 5 or 6, right? And I think in the last few months, we've explored so many of these just specific type tools that are in the type icon on your toolbar set.
Yes.
We have everything from type tool, which is our go-to every day. That's our usual one. We have type in area. We have type on path. We have the both vertical and vertical area, which is fantastic. We have the vertical type on a path tool. And then our big time favorite, touch type tool, because that does something so crazy and unique. And the best thing to do is when you just start here and you've got anything written, and I'll make this a bit bigger so we can see how this looks. The cool thing is anything that is a text box. This is one thing I checked out earlier today. When you go back to here, why it's not coming to the forefront is beyond me.
What are you trying to do?
I'm not even getting my type. Oh, there it is. There we go. I'm completely losing it on our off day. Forget it's a type and hold. You could go right over to here and go to type touch tool, and basically you have it ready to go. I always thought like you had to retype something with that particular tool highlighted. You can go right back in here. I now have the touch tool thing, and what I can do is when I go into each one of these, I have the complete customization to change every one of these little ones, and I can move, take them around, find that perfect spot for them. If I want the C a little bit smaller, we could do the same thing. So we have scale, we have movability, and we also have tilt. So you can go in there and completely tilt. And I love that it gives you safeguard. It opens up the font. You can actually go back in here now and tighten it, which is really cool. But when you're actually twisting something around, you definitely get a really different kind of open spread there. So you at least can see everything you're doing. I think they took that into consideration when you're having some pretty fancy fonts, or who knows what that could be, right? So yes. The last thing here I'll show, and then if you want to take over some of these, more than welcome. I'm just going to do a quick little pin tool thing, and we're going to just do a fun little path of something cool here like this. With this selected, we're going to take the fill off and just give it a line of black. Now I'm going to go over to the type tool again, and we're going to go type on path. We click right on that path, and you can see it gives you the Greeking of what you already have in that font selected. But amazingly, it will take anything you have here. We looked at this last week, and I love the control you have, right? You can take the center one and move it anywhere you want on that line if it's centered. If it's flush right or flush left, it will obviously look different here if you're given more space. So you get to move this around. And you can even take the center one, flip it, and now you can get it on the opposite side of that type path. So a lot of fun controllability with that tool as well.
Super easy. I love using type on a path. There are also a lot of options that you can do that we'll show you in just a minute, but I want to hop over here and show you about the Retype tool. This is one of my favorite tools. Nick, were you going to cover this?
No, go for it.
Got it.
I have it on the list, but do it.
Okay, so Retype tool, one of the greatest, and I want to show how you can combine some of the tools, right? So we can use Retype tool, and then we can also use what Nick just showed with the touch type tool, and create this kind of label. Because when we use Retype here, I think that it's not going to correctly do like the weird wonkiness. I think it's just going to find the font. Let's see what happens. So with this selected, we're going to go to type, Retype beta, and then do edit text. So this is pretty crazy, is it is going to assess the image and then pick out what text I can use. So cauliflower is good here. Love that. Yeah. And it's going to find what font that is and then allow me to not only replace it and tell me what it is, but it's going to actually put in a text line for me to work with. So that I can like change it. And it actually will change the background too, right? It's going to like paint over the background.
It does that. It will actually do like a little photoshopping to the image that you gave it.
Which is crazy. And I didn't think that it did that. And I think we did it on office hours once and it like filled in the background. I was like, what?
We were like, where did it go?
This is crazy. Okay, so it's processing. Retype does take a second. It is in beta, so it does take a second sometimes to come through. Nick, do you want... We're thinking. Do you want to show some of the type on a path options? Like, let's see if we want. Let's see if we want to do full crash. Yes. Welcome to Adobe Office Hours, everybody.
What happened?
I know. I took it from here too. Oh no. The curtain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. All right. Well, I'll give it another shot. We'll run it back and we'll try it. It happens sometimes. But if it happens, you can actually, I'll show you what you can do. You can send an email and let us know that there's a bug and we can fix it. So Nick, can you show some of the type on a path options, specifically maybe aligning it to the top center or something like that if you need it to be in a different place?
Sure. There's so many different ways you could do this. So this is just, again, type right on the path. The fun thing that you could do is go right back up into here and in type on path in the type menu, you do have type and path options. This is fantastic. This is where you're going to get all of your editability. So right now it's on the rainbow effect, meaning it is kind of curving with the actual path that you're on. If you have it on skew here, and I have it on preview, you will see it is keeping the skew. You can see the parallel lines are staying the same. There might be a need for that in some cases. I think these are great different options. If it's on a path or a circle, I think a lot of times it can look pretty cool when you do this here as well. You can actually do the 3D ribbon, and you can see again, it is now taking it and kind of going completely. I think this is probably the most expressive one with that as well. And then you have
gravity. Gravity is the most gravity is insane.
Sorry. Let's try that one. There we go. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you said most expressive, and I was like, no.
Kind of a little bit on its own area there. I'll keep it on rainbow. But one of the cool things here is the aligning the path. Where do you want it to align? And this was, again, one of those ones when I figured it out, I was always on the ascender, or in this case, it's on the descender because it was flipped. But here, you're usually seeing it this way. And what I love about this is you do have that choice to go into the center. And this way, if you're particularly doing text on a circle and you're flipping it, like we've shown many, many times, you get to have that exact lockup with the same diameter of that circle. And now your text is going to line up. You don't have to like go in there, make it smaller, and then find it on a different baseline. So you have all that kind of great stuff here as well. And there's such good things here. I love the fact that you actually have the flip as a quick option to do it, which is great, instead of having to go there on the artboard and do it as well. So you got a lot of fun control.
Super easy, lots of control. I'm still processing over here and we got it. Cool. So what I did is I selected that. I went to type and then retype beta and then did match font, and it's found the font for me. And so I like this font right here, Amaretta Dark, but let's say maybe I wanted something else. It's going to give me everything that's close that looks like that. This is actually, where was that one? This is a great handwriting font.
Ooh,
right? It's just like really playful and fun. So I like this one. I'm just going to click on the cloud and it will sync to my Creative Cloud, which is really cool, into Illustrator. And this one is already synced. So I'm just going to click here. And then what I want to do is, if I wanted to edit this text, I could actually go in and go to type, retype beta, and then we could edit that text. So let me exit out of here. And with this selected, we can go to type, retype beta, edit text, and it's going to find that for me. And now I can edit this. So we can double click and it's going to apply that font in that configuration. Does it match
Great.
the color?
This I have not seen yet. I think I only saw this being demoed on a black and white version. So this will be.
Yeah. I actually, I don't think I've ever done it
fingers.
with, I don't think I've ever done it on a version with a color. Let's see if it picks up the brown and the tan. Yes.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness. So now when I click on this, so if I exit here, so we're going to exit.
Yeah.
Now it is live text. So I can go in if I wanted to, and I can change something to say we don't want chocolate. We want it to say hot cocoa.
Look at that.
Coke.
Oh my god.
Cocoa. I don't know how to spell it, chat.
CAO, I believe it is, right?
CAO. Cacao. Hot cacao. And it did change the background so that I can mock it up a little bit better. So if you're looking for the right font, you can use the Retype tool. And then once it's selected, just open Control-T for your character panel. You can click on the touch type tool, and that's where you can select these and kind of spin them, maybe like move them around over here and create something really fun and quirky using that touch type tool. But what's cool is if I need to change, let's say I spelled this wrong, which I did. Let's say we want it to be chocolate again. So what I could do is I'm just going to go here and we're going to go chocolate, and it's going to start at where that was. So we wanted to maybe replace each of these. LATE. You can see that it keeps the positioning of those. So if you have something you need to change, it will actually keep the positioning regardless of what you change that letter to, which is really cool.
I like seeing the fact that you're doing it on the inspiration image you found. Like there's something cool about that. Like it will gives you that reassurance that it's going to look good because you're probably somewhere in that zone with your design anyways, right?
Yep, absolutely.
That is awesome. And to do it right on a JPEG.
Right on a JPEG. I think that it's interesting that there's more like raster stuff happening with Illustrator, especially with the feature of mockup happening.
Yeah.
There is a lot like mockup, retype. There's
3D.
A lot of like mock-upable stuff that is happening with kind of crossing over that Photoshop gap with Illustrator, which is really cool.
Yeah, and even think about the 3D effects that are very raster when it comes to what you're doing.
We haven't even talked about 3D. Are we going to talk about 3D today?
Let's talk about 3D.
All right, let's go in and hop back over to Nick for another top type tip. Dick Tongo about the Puppet Warp.
Now it's the Puppet Warp time right here on Office Hours.
Puppet Warp on Office
Where'd this
Hours.
come from? I have no idea.
That's it.
So this was a neat thing because let's say you have found either a font that is close enough to what you want, but it doesn't have enough of the additional kind of like personality, or maybe you're trying to do something very original or something cool here. If you start with a font here, this is Sign Painter, one of my favorites from our friends at House. And if you convert it to paths, which I already have here as well, and then I'm just going to ungroup it here. So now these are all individual kind of pieces. The Puppet Warp tool is a really cool thing to try because what it will do is it'll plank a little anchor everywhere on here. And then you can go right back to that and like turn it around and actually bend and move this kind of stuff the same way you would any kind of stuff like here where it shows like for animation. So with this clicked, I'm going to come onto the actual thing here. And then notice here, I've put this here. I can put an anchor anywhere I want. I'll do it on the E because I want to show you the difference here on the E. Now you're going to go to these little pieces here and you're going to take this and you can actually have some fun with the curvature. You can even go in here and like say, like, let's say this one is, you want to get it really tight or kind of something really cool here as well. Notice you're almost reconstructing the font, which is kind of really fun. And I think it takes a weird one that has a lot of this kind of like the tails are really kind of cool to see. But on the S, this was really fun. Take this again. You click on it. You can add any of these that you want and you can go right back into them. And then you actually have this, like, this is really kind of neat to get the most customized font that you're trying to do. And you can see as I'm doing this here, it tucks it in a little bit more like that.
Yep.
And then let's see how this one is. So look at this. This control you're getting is like, if you really want that extra groovy and something kind of like, look at that. I just love what that did. It actually took this thing, really groovy stuff. So don't forget that this is one of those really neat tools that you can get into and have some fun with. And I think just having this idea here of how you can bend, I want one more so I can even kind of make it a little bit more artistic and get it slide right in there as well. You have all of this really fun control to mess around with. not really considered something for type, but it kind of works perfectly.
Oh yeah, especially if you're trying to do a lockup like that, like getting
Mhm.
it and just puppet warping it into itself is amazing.
Yeah.
Also, that whole time, chat, I'm sure that you were thoroughly entertained. I was like trying to dance. It felt like all the letters hit the dance floor, and as you were
Yes.
moving, it was just like little dance moves. And every time I use the puppet orb, that's all I think about is just like the little letters in there, just like having a little like squiggly rave. 100%. All right.
That's great.
So let's hop in, and this is not like I don't even know how to position this. There's a new type menu in Photoshop. There are things that get released that like don't get talked about, and so like it's not like it's a new tool or nothing that's going to change your workflow, but there is a new type tool. So when you have something selected here, when you go to select your font, we now have an entirely new menu here where we can filter by Adobe Fonts. We can search for more fonts, and we can sync them directly into Photoshop. We have all of these different tags. So we have like black letter, Art Deco, cursive, friendly. So let's say we want this to be funky. You can click on funky, and then it's going to give me all of the funky fonts. And then if I like one of them, I can simply click it to sync it here. So this is brand new in Photoshop. It used to just be like the long list, but now you can do all these different classes. You can do only from Adobe Fonts. You can also do similar fonts. If you have one selected, it will find a similar for you.
One.
Right? Pretty cool. Or you can do your favorites.
And only in Photoshop?
Yes, this is only in Photoshop. I mean, it's similar, if not better, in Illustrator. But what I like about the Photoshop menu is that it has these categories.
Yeah,
I think the categories are really nice because they come directly from Adobe Fonts. And so I like having the categories to be able to find like the vibe that I'm looking for, that I know I want something clean. I can go here, and then I have a whole bunch of clean fonts, which is really cool.
That's great.
That's my tip for this one. I know that we're just ping-ponging back and forth, but we're playing type pickleball today. That's it. Nothing new to show you other than the type menu is different in Photoshop, and it works a lot better now. So
that's
how
great.
about that? How about that,
Keep
chat?
getting better. Keeps getting better.
Love me some summertime, Nick. Tell us about loving summertime.
This is summer Nick right here. You know it. This is my time. What I want to do is try showing you how you can take not only a circle like this, but with the knife tool, you can create cool little shapes. And what we're going to do is we're going to use Envelope Distort, my number one fun and favorite kind of tool, like for anything you're doing type related, because it's got so many different filters to mess around with. But on this one, we're going to do with make with top object, which is, I know, a favorite of yours as well. So with this circle, all I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just take the knife tool here. And with this here, I'm just going to kind of drag and try to give myself a few little areas like this with 4 distinct areas, right? And now what this has done is I actually have 4 little areas, which is like really great. Do you ever use the knife tool?
I don't. I only know I like watch people use the knife tool. I'm like, that's cool, and I never use it.
Right? I'm like, I think there's so many kind of cool features where in that case, I would have probably gone to like Pathfinder or Shape Builder and make this, but when I could do it with just 3 stripes across and it actually turns it into the shapes, there's no editing. I was like, love that idea. It's really, really cool. So I've got love me on the top, some, and then summer, and then time. So those are what I'm going to try to squeeze into these fun little squares. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to create paths and ungroup. And then I'll take the first line and just group it, take this and group it. I don't think you have to do this, but this is just my method. I always have that kind of ready to go because I hate when I have like a loose font just sitting there. So now we're going to move this over. I'm just going to put them in each one of their spaces here, right? And if you want, you could take all of them and send them to back in one step. So now I know everything I have for my shape is on top. So all I got to do is take the first shape and the first text here, and you're going to go over to Object, Envelope Distort, and you're going to go with Make with Top Object. There we go.
Oh.
And it literally will do this all the way through. Make with top object. And notice it actually leaves this like automatic space in between, which is kind of cool. I'm assuming that's like someone at Adobe going, we know you want that.
Yep.
And we'll take this, go back to here, object, envelope distort, and make with top object. And again, look at this. You got this really fantastic thing. Obviously, I can go in there and actually, make some changes to some of that. If the T didn't look like it fit enough, we can expand this because I'm assuming this is not expanded yet. Let's see if we go to Command Y. Yeah. So take all of those Never do it to your actual file. Make a duplicate, right? Go back to object, and we're going to go to expand. And what this will do is it'll turn them into fills. So now you can see the difference when I go into wireframe. That's still an effect on the left, so it hasn't been released. On the right here, I've released it, and I actually have edited stuff. So if I want, I could take my pen tool, add another little like kind of piece here as well, and we can go, let me zoom in here a little bit because I want to fix that T. And we can make this, kind of get this a little bit bigger, mess with some of the anchor points. Anchor points.
Anchor point, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. And here, yeah. And I think this is like actually something you should do on a lot of these because you might get a little bit of a tight squeeze on some of those, but everything else looks pretty damn good. You can see that it kind of worked. And then what a cool like starting point. We can even take this, we can try it in 3D. We can inflate this. We can do a ton of other stuff that's like so cool with this type effect. It's really, really awesome.
Yes. So I want to see it inflated. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hop back to my screen. I'm going to show you how to do some stuff in Firefly. While we do that, Nick, just like be ready to show some 3D inflated because I think that'll be really, really cool. All right. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to use Adobe Firefly to kind of reimagine your type. And so I wanted to make a name card for Tiktongo, the toast of top type tips.
The toast of the town.
Yeah, the toast of the town with top type tips, Tiktongo. It's going to be, he needs like a little nameplate. So I'm going to use Adobe Firefly here to create something. And I want to do fun children's book illustration. And let's do like colorful. Let's do pasta. Let's do like what else? Beer. Nick's a beer fan. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a structure reference and a style reference. I promised you I'd do this. I went and found a public domain image from a children's book that is expired into the public domain, and I'm going to use that as the style reference to see what happens. So let's go ahead and let's upload an image for our structure reference, and that is going to be our Tiktongo right there. And then from there, we are going to go down to our style reference, and we want the strength of your type to be all the way up. That means it's going to be like perfect on the type. And then style, I'm going to upload an image, and we're doing like this children's book kind of illustration. It's like an old vintage children's book. Let me see if I can open it for you. 1 second, chat. Let's see if we can.
Are you using the Internet Archive book images?
Yes, catalog? I use Internet Archive all the time. Yes.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't gotten into that, you can find all of that. It's all license-free public domain art.
Public domain, baby.
Yeah.
Public domain is like 100 years after plus something. Yes. So this is some art that was in public domain. I'm going to use it as our style guide, and then we are using the structure reference right here. So let's go ahead and try the prompt and see what happens.
My new food blog is going to have a new logo here in a second.
Right. Super fun way to play with your type with that structure reference to really lock in those letters. Oh no.
Bro, wait, first of all.
Oh, beer. It probably clipped beer.
Won't do beer.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, let's try this one.
I gotta say, those drawings are incredible. Oh my gosh, I gotta try this.
Let's see. Yeah, public domain. That was a good call using like the birds that the person did. Why is the strength not going through?
Interesting. What else?
Okay, let me refresh and try it again. Let's see if I take away this.
Maybe you don't need to say fun children's book illustration because it kind of already is.
You're right.
So maybe it's just all the elements you want to say.
Yeah. So let's just do pasta.
There you go. You can do pizza.
Yeah, pasta, pizza. What other things do you like, Nick?
Pretzels.
Okay. Gosh, the alliteration on today's show.
I know, right?
That's all we're doing. So yeah, I'm gonna put this back up here. There we go. Let's see if we can do that with our structure reference. We have our style reference still. Let's generate and see what happens here. Pasta, pizza, pretzel. For Nick Longo, sorry, for Tiktongo.
Tiktongo.
The toast of the town with the top type tips.
Yes. I can't wait to see this.
Please work. Please
work. So guys, if you are oh my gosh.
What? Yes. So fun.
That is amazing.
So fun. The pretzel got real wonky.
Yeah. That's me after I've taken a few bites.
Nick, what is this and
is
how do we eat it?
great. This is so great.
This is
Look at the
so
stippling.
fun.
Look at the stippling inside.
Yeah,
Isn't
the
that
stippling's
insane?
great. The colors are awesome. And even using Firefly to like get some color palettes, like really great use to grab some color palettes. And a fun way to play around with your type using that structure reference.
Yeah. If
Love
you want to
these.
use those images, guys, just search Internet Archive Book and you'll find, I think there's a few different places that have a lot of that already resources and you can search. So if there's something fun you're looking for, oh man, what a great combo to throw it in there on Firefly.
I use the one on Flickr is the one that I use.
That's what I got.
So chat, if you would like to join our Discord, you can do so. I went too early. You can go down here, discord.gg/ACC. But what we want you to do is down there, you can grab this image. So this image is our structure reference image for the new closing of the new show. And so I'm just going to save this into my downloads. And then you can see a bunch of people have created some really awesome stuff using that structure reference, but you're going to download it. I just typed in gibberish and it came up with this. Cool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to 16 by 9. And then I'm going to use this structure reference. I'm going to upload an image and upload our little OH office hours.
Oh, I can't wait to see what this does.
And then from there, I'm going to do like snow, ice, water, winter, because that is the vibe that I'm about to go into. I'm going to turn the strength all the way up so that it matches it really well, and then we are going to generate. And this is a great way for you to become a part of the show. And we're going to be taking the submissions from Discord, creating a nice little outro loop that has all of your generations. Make sure that you have 16 by 9 checked, and make sure that you are using either photo or art. I'm going to use art this time, and let's see if that generates a little better. I feel like structure reference has been like on and off for me a little bit, and I've had to like refresh, and then it works. So play around with it and see if it works for you or if you're having issues. So I want you to do that.
The strength over a little bit more?
Oh yeah, there we go.
There it is. Let's see what happens.
Go and create your version of this. You can generate whatever you want as long as you're using that structure reference and turn that structure reference all the way up. If it doesn't work, give it a refresh and see what happens. And then post it over in Discord. I'm going to keep playing around with it to see if I can get it to work. And in the meantime, Nick, show us some 3D.
Yeah. So I just applied a fun color palette of summer to this. And what I'm going to try is like, let's see what we can do if we get this into a little bit of 3D. So go right over to effects 3D, and we're going to go into extrude and bevel here. And let's see. Ooh, there it is. Look at that. I obviously want to go with the inflate because I think that to me is just one of the funnest ones to do. So we're going to click on inflate. Oh, geez. Look at that already, dude.
And what you can do, Nick, is right now it's inflating each of them individually. If you go back and undo it and then group them, it will keep your lockup and then inflate them together.
So I'm grouping them together.
So group everything together and then go in and then try
Is it group or... Oh, yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
And then if you do the extrude and bevel, you can get the dimension again.
There we go. Get that a little bit more there. Extrude and bevel. That will get the depth going a little bit. So this is if we... So it's one or the other, right? So
yes, but then you can grab the little node in the middle and move it around. Just click and drag in there, and you can free transfer.
There we go. Whoa,
that's cool.
Okay. So I think that we did that a little bit too much. So I'll take this depth thing down. There we go. We'll go back to this guy and move it. Oh, whoa! I'm already seeing the little sticker for this thing. This is great. So I'm going to do it. Let's see. I'm looking at it on both screens here to see what would be a fun way to get this going. I like right there. And we'll take the depth a little bit down as well. And we can go into our materials for sure. We have it on default, but I love I think do you have Mylar in here?
There is.
I forget what's like.
So what you can do actually to get a good Mylar is just don't put a material on it. Go down to the bottom right there and turn the roughness, leave the roughness at like 0.4 and then take the metallic all to the way up.
That's what it was.
And what that's going to do, it's going to give you that super glossy Mylar finish.
This is so much fun. I want to make sure it's still got a good readability there. I like that. Now we'll go to lighting. And of course, we can move our... Oh my God. It's not the coolest thing ever.
And if you guys want more information about 3D and creating metallic effects in Adobe Illustrator, go to the Help tab and search for 3D because I have a tutorial in there that I can show you how to do it.
This is great. All right. So dare I do the render and just see?
Yeah, good luck.
Let's see what happens. All right.
Let's see what happens here.
Cut to Andrew just in case, but let's see. Oh my
yes.
gosh.
Cut to me. It'll think about it. Your computer's yes. Zoom in on that.
Let me unclick so we can look at what we just did in Illustrator. Come on.
Look, the detail's so insane. And what gets me always is that like it reflects the shadows of the other letters and the colors of the other letters. Like
You're
it's
right.
so crazy.
Look at that. You can see a yellowy tint there. You can see the red just starting in on the bottom of the M. Oh, guys, this is
3D in Illustrator is so underrated, and it is so good.
That is fantastic. This is just the best ever.
All right, so we did create a nice little structure reference here, which is great. Also, Nick, when we get to the holiday season,
let it go, Andrew. Let it go.
Let it go. When we get to the holiday season, I never thought about this. Why could we not do ho ho?
It's
right, because it's kind of it's kind of like it already is. There's possibilities.
We'll get it. We'll figure it out.
Look at our fortress. This is where we stream from. Actually, I think Nick is somewhere up here, and I'm down here.
Fortress of not solitude. What is it? Fortress of
chaos.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Fortress of Chaos. Okay, so we are talking about the top type tips today. If you are just joining us, I'm Andrew Hochradel.
I'm Nick Longo.
And this is Adobe Office Hours. We are here every single week helping you level up your creative careers, and we are changing times. We are going to Monday. So Monday, starting July 15th, Monday at 9 a.m., you can start your week with us. Wake up, grab your coffee, and just have a grand old time starting your week off in chaos. We'll have some points for you to get. We might have prizes each quarter. It's going to be a really fun new version of the show, and we're excited.
So many possibilities.
So many possibilities.
I'm thinking like we should be doing like we could do like 1 week we could do something like all of our coffees are inspired by something or some place.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be cool? So everyone's having something of the same thing while we'll
give you some homework over the week to come back the next week. So if you want to be a part of that, join our Discord. Discord.gg/ACC is the place to be. And we have all kinds of fun activities there for you to get involved with. Usually at each show, we'll try to give you some homework. So Nick, are we going to give them homework at the end of this show? Oh, yes. They already have homework. They already do. I literally just spent so much time showing you what your homework was. Go download our source reference here and then create your reference for the outro of the new show because we want the new show to be even more you. All right, Nick. YOLO. Take it away.
YOLO. I was looking into some of the things that I've done in the last few weeks that I thought would work good for this. And I know we can even show how intertwine. We've used that many times. That's a really cool and unique way to have your type intertwine. But if you're doing overlapping fonts or types and you're doing maybe particularly in a logo typeface or something, here's kind of a quick way I want to show you how you would overlap and give yourself those little breaks where maybe the Y would overlap the O or vice versa. So with this font selected, I'm just going to convert to outline and then ungroup. And then what I love about this is it's just finding those little areas where, like, let's say you want to do something neat like this, and this is your stacked version of the logo. I can go in there as well and just kind of like, let's shorten this tail here so it's a little bit further away. Maybe bring this one up, bring this a little bit like this. So you're customizing it, having some fun here as well. So what I want to do is imagine if I want the Y to be over the O and I want there to be a break in the O, I want there to be a break in the L, and it feels like these fonts are overlapping. There's a really quick and fun way to do this. And what I've used is offset path. And then I use a bit of Pathfinder to figure that out as well. So everything's selected. We're going to go over to object and path and then offset. And what you're going to do is you're going to see the gap that it comes in on the default. Right now we're at 0.02. So I'm going to go to like 0.05 and then you hit tab. And what's great about that is you get to see the actual preview without leaving the dialog box. So if that looks good enough, I think there's enough gap. I can kind of get an idea of what that looks like. I'm going to click OK. And now if I go to wireframe, you'll see exactly what I have. So I have overlap, but I also have these gutters that now I can go back and we can have some fun with. So I'm going to take the Command Y back. We're going to go into normal mode, select them all. And then in Pathfinder, what you're going to do, let's see, let's get the nice big window for it here as well. You're going to go to, I believe it's divide, right? Like, is it divide or no?
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, divide will take everything that overlaps and it's going to make its own shape. So it's going to do a lot of cutting and like fusing together a lot of these places, right? So do that. You're not going to see any different at all, but I'm going to just hit ungroup. And now what I can do is I can kind of chisel away at these outlines, right? Go over here, get those going. Now where I'm here, if I zoom in, we go to the wireframe, I can see exactly what I want. So let's say I want the Y to be over that O. What I got to do is I'm going to get rid of all these little things, and I'm going to get rid of the gutter here.
I'm about to get a point, chat. I'm about to get a point. Everyone get ready.
Oh no, you're doing this in like the quickest form. There we go. All right, so let's take a look. There we go. Looks good?
Yeah, looks great. Love it. All right, cool. Okay, can you undo that? Okay, so undo that. I'm going to show you a different way to do that.
Go ahead.
That will just take, I think, less clicks. So let me hop over here.
What should I go? What should I go back to? Where they're offset or before offset?
To the offset.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's see.
So before you use Pathfinder. Okay, so we have all of our shapes. Do your offset again.
There it is. Okay.
There it is. Okay, cool. So select all of those. So you have them all there, and we're going to select all of those pieces.
Yep.
And then over in the left, right underneath the width tool is the shape builder tool. So the shape builder tool basically does the things that Pathfinder does, but faster. And so if you hold Alt or Option, it's going to change the little plus right there to a minus next to your cursor.
There we go.
And then go over the areas that you want to delete. You just click and drag over the area you want to delete, or you can just click on it and it will delete it. And it's doing exactly what we just did in that process that Nick showed, but a little bit faster. For me, I like the precision of this because then you can kind of just
see if you go off. Ugh. It's because I've never done this before.
Yes, you can just click. You can just click on each one and it will take it out. So it's going to highlight those, and then you can kind of click through, just take them out. I like doing this when I'm doing overlapping type like this, especially because it is basically just doing subtract and divide with a Pathfinder, but it's doing a little bit faster for me, and I can add and take away a little bit faster.
Yeah, this is almost like instant sculpting of your type.
Yes. If you have a lot of stuff overlapping, using the shape builder tool is a really easy way to just be like, not that, not that, not that. And especially, Nick, if you are working on a logo, actually, chat, I have a real world example of this that I can show you. I built a logo that needed to be one color, but I had done it with like white in the background and like different like background colors. And so I use the Pathfinder, or I use the shape builder tool to just have like a black and white version of it, even though it has a bajillion different lines, and knock it out. So check this out. On this side
Go ahead.
is I did this for like some church summer camp, and look at all of these lines, right? And that's me, like it's on white right now. And so I just like used white as a color, but they need it without that. And so what I did is I just used the shape builder tool, and then you'd go in here and then just select the art that you want to change, use the shape builder tool. And then I just went into all those white areas and just subtracted all of them, right? And then that leaves me with something like this.
Much
super
cleaner.
clean. So it's so easy to clean up your really messy vectors that look clean by using the shape builder tool.
Ooh, I wonder, there could be another fix to that's even faster to your method. If you did it in an off color, let's say you did it in a unique color in your thing, can you do a select all of that color and delete?
Yes, but so the reason that I like using the shape builder is it will punch out everything that is below it. So if I did a like select color, so let's say that I go into this and I want to like delete the white areas, I can select the white area, go to select, same fill color. But when I delete it, it's just like deleting those shapes. Yeah. And so using the shape builder, it will punch out like 100 layers that are behind it. At the same time. So it's super, super handy to be able to not have to like divide and then delete 7 shapes. It just kills all of them all the way down to your artwork, which is really great.
That's really cool.
All right. So I want to show you, we got about 10 minutes left here, but I want to show you a cool tip to play around with your type to create a rad effect that I am just a big fan of. We're going to create 2 versions of our type. One is going to be yellow and one is going to be hot pink. And we're gonna make this one really small. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make a blend. We're gonna select both of these objects and then go to Object, Blend, Make. Boom. And already we have a really, really cool look. I'm such a fan of this vibe. And what I want to do is I'm actually going to maybe just let's do this. I'm going to put a stroke on this. So I'm going to put on the stroke on the outside and then make that stroke black. Pretty cool, right? So create that cool effect. But let's say I want it to do like a little more wiggle. I can actually just use my brush tool and I'm going to paint in a little wiggle. And with this as my spine, what I can do is I can select both the line that I have here and my blend, and then go to Object, Blend, and Replace Spine. And now it's going to follow that spine with my type and create this really cool type effect. Right?
Look at that. That's so
right.
Cool.
Super vintage, super cool. And what you also can do is you can come up here and you can have your type. And I actually saw this on TikTok again. So thanks TikTok person. I need to like make
those
note
are coming
of
through. I'm seeing more and more of those lately, and I think because I'm liking them.
Right. And so what they did is they created 2 versions of their type. They had one that was the color and then one with the backdrop. And what they did is they just selected both of these and then went to Object, Blend, and they did blend. They did Make, and they went to Object, Blend Options. And from here, you can change specified distance, and they wanted it 1 pixel, and that's going to give you that hard shadow. So now you have that really cool hard shadow effect. And if we wanted to move this backdrop, we could move it, and it's going to keep that. It's basically just doing a 1 pixel move each. It's replicating your art every pixel that it's moving, right? And so
I love that.
All you need to do is set a blend, and then you do it specified distance, and you say, hey, blend every 1 pixel, and then you can create this really cool effect that is kind of, I mean, this is super trendy right now. And if I wanted to, I could change the background color, and it is going to fade that background color for me into, it's because it has a stroke on it. Hold please. There we go. It's going to fade that in to the background color.
It has that eraser look now. I love that.
Yes. And so if you want to, again, you can come in and put a stroke on it and then just align the stroke to the inside. And it will look like it has this kind of like separation vibe. Really cool effect, right?
Oh, without the black line, I think that's like my favorite. That looks so
like
cool.
Just very warm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Agreed. And if we wanted to change the way that this works, we can actually bring this to the front, and it's going to reverse like the what's it called?
The black. I think because it's almost transparent. One's in front, one's in back, right?
Yes, one's in front, one's in back. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. So really easy way to create that effect. I know a lot of people want to do it for like open signs or whatever. That's how you do it.
That's really cool, man.
All right, back to you, Nick. We got 8 minutes. Go.
All right, let's go. We promised a little bit of the entire offset path. We went through that. Now I want to show you the second favorite thing I love, and that is envelope distort. This is one of the cool ones where you get the make with warp one here. You have so many different options. I picked the font because this one's got that kind of like vintage vibe. You probably could imagine this in so many different ways. You've got everything from the arc like this, which is really cool. You've got arc lower. So again, you are now working with the lower portion of that. And with any version of that, you can even go opposite, which is kind of neat. And you can go upward like that. You can actually go to the upper side as well, and you'll see it will do that. So if you are, let's say you do have a custom piece and you're trying to fit it in there as well, just like we did earlier, you could do it with the top object. But I love this control you have here, which is fantastic. Let's see a few more here. Now you have arch. Now what arch is doing is you can see it is not kind of rainbowing it out the way an arc would, but you're getting this really cool effect here. And if you want, you can actually like mess around with this. And let's say it has to be a little bit more tapered on one side and a little bit more on the other. But you can even go into the vertical kind of version here, and you can tighten it like this as well. If you're trying to do something like maybe funky around like a clock or something unique like that as well. Let's see what else you have.
All right.
Both sides here.
Oh, you. Sorry. I thought you were throwing back to me. Okay. Yes.
No.
What else?
Oh, gotcha. But here's one of my favorites. Now, if you reset back to zeros on these, let's get those here. This idea of doing the flag and doing the pendants is so cool because you have such good like control throughout everything here. So notice here, I can make this a lot more curvy. Again, you can, if you need that one where it's a little bit more tapered on that side. But one of my favorite things to do with this is before you've done it, I'll bring it back to this one. And you know you're going to be using it in a box or a kind of like a placeholder or any kind of thing. Do them together, right? That's kind of like the fun way you can do this.
Yes.
If I put this in the back here, and we take office hours here, and let's just put it in white so you can see what I'm doing. Do them together with this effect. You'll never have to worry about matching that kind of perspective. So we'll go back with that.
Jump scare.
We're back.
Sorry, our recording program crashed. And so there's no way, we had to hard cut back in. Sorry, everybody. Okay, Nick, where were you?
Yeah, we were showing how when you actually unite these together and do the envelope distort at the same time, what's cool about this is you will get the perfect bend, the perfect curves, everything in there as well to create that flag effect. You even have this, I like this one too, this one called Rise. It actually gives it more of kind of, again, like what this font, like you see it a lot in, is a lot of that kind of like beautifully curved, almost like old newspaper vibes. Yep. Love that kind of thing. It's great for like menus and other things like that you're working on. I love this feature. It's so neat to do that. And I've seen so many times a student will curve font and then they try to make that box or that bounding box that it's going to be in to the same proportions. Why not just do it at the same time?
Why not? Speaking of doing things at the same time, what you can do. This needs to make, I loved when we had the OH branding like this. I think this needs to make more of a presence in the new show. But what we can do is you can actually layer effects. And we were talking about like putting strokes on things. You can actually just go to right here. We can add a stroke, add a new stroke. And we're going to do that black. And this one, let's put it like 5 points. And then if we wanted to, we can align that to different sides if it was outlined. So I am going to outline it real quick, just so we have kind of a look at what that looks like. Yeah. And so we are going to go to our effects panel, and we have the stroke here is red. Let's make the fill maybe like this, not an ugly color. Let's make it this orange. And let's say we want to add another stroke on it. What you can do is you can just click right here and then add in another stroke. And let's make this one maybe like a yellow. And then as you take this up, you'll start to see it behind the other stroke. So check that out. We have the fill is all the way in the back. Then we have the yellow, and then we have the red. If we wanted to, we can move the fill all the way up to the top. And now the fill is going to sit on top. So it's just a different way of layering your type, is to use the appearance panel instead of trying to use like different layers. Literally, you can just drag these and keep moving them wherever you want them to be. And maybe we want it to have a nice like dark brown outline. And this is going to go to maybe 60, right? So you can really play around and create some cool kind of vintage layered effects. And this is all just one. This is just one. It's just one stacked appearance. So what's really cool is if I wanted to, I could create a graphic style with this by having this selected and clicking on the plus. And now if I come here and I want to type out the full office hours, we just outline this, and then we can actually click on our graphic style and it will apply it to that. So it'll apply it to anything. Even if we had a shape, we could just click and it would apply it to that shape. So anything that you do in the appearance panel can be reapplied, which is really cool. All right, Nick, you have like literally
an idea.
What do you got? I'm not mad about OHAM.
Dude, wait, it's forgetting something because you just had it there. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Please hold. There we go.
Yeah, that could lock up pretty nicely, actually.
Hey, what do you guys think? Tell us in Discord.
Yeah, let us know if you want the new show to be OHAM.
I love it.
I think it's kind of fun. And other than that, Nick, what does the news people need to know?
July 15th, we start back on Monday mornings. We are at 9 a.m. Can't wait to join you guys in the morning. That's going to be a fun little time zone for us.
9 a.m. is going to be the next show. All right. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We will see you July 15th at 9 a.m. for the new version of Adobe Office Hours. Bye, everybody.
Can't wait. See ya.
Oh, I need to hit the outro button, huh?